Well, hello and welcome to the Power of Your Mind podcast. I'm Victoria Gallagher, your host, and I'm here to inspire you to tap into the incredible power of your mind by helping you to understand the law of attraction, manifestation, hypnosis, affirmations, meditations, all kinds of tools designed to rewire your mindset and propel you toward success. Every week, we talk about proven strategies and approaches to help to empower your mindset to manifest your dreams and help you to achieve your highest potential. You are listening to episode number 375, which is tapping into your energetic wealth with Oxana Lovich. And I am really excited about today's episode. But before we dive in, just a quick reminder to make sure that you subscribe to the Power of Your Mind podcast on your favorite platform. And if you're new to the show, just a little bit about me. I'm a best-selling author, Practical Law of Attraction. I've been a hypnotherapist for over 26 years, digital course creator, inspirational speaker, entrepreneur, all the things. And I'm also a developer of the Believe Hypnosis app. So be sure to download Believe Hypnosis app on the app stores. There's over 1,000 hypnosis sessions, all designed to help you to manifest your dreams and your goals. Now let's talk about Oksana. So Oksana is also a certified coach, author, hypnotherapist, energy healer, Reiki practitioner. She has certificates from Berkeley University, Marissa Peer Rapid Transformational Therapy, the Silva Method Academy, Sussex Hypnotherapy Center, and the Academy of Ancient Magic. And if you want to learn more about Oksana, you can visit her websites, which are quantumleap2success.com and sacredapex.com. So in this episode, I'm excited to welcome Oksana. We're going to be exploring how to break that cycle and create lasting success. The cycle of like the negative mental blocks that are getting in your way from making all the money that you want. And we're going to be talking about how your vibration influences your financial success. You're going to learn about the most common subconscious money blocks that are holding women back and why some people thrive in business but struggle with fulfillment in other areas. So if you are feeling stuck, we're going to talk about how to shift your reality. So welcome to the show, Oksana.
I'm so blessed to be at your show. You're just simply magnificent, and I'm so proud of all your achievements. So
Oh my
beautiful.
goodness. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I'm very proud and honored by your presence here. You have definitely made a name for yourself in this industry, and you have been helping women to break through the struggle, the survival, living on survival mode and, just really helping people to tap into their innate wealth. And, so I'm really excited to dive into that with you. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Tell us just a little bit about like what even, got you to this point in your life.
So I was born in a very successful family. And despite the fact that I was born in a very successful family, I had lots of traumatic events that I've experienced. My parents passed away. I grew up in an abusive environment. So despite the fact that I saw so much success, physical success, I knew it was not the answer for feeling fulfilled. So since a very young age, since the age of 17, when I ran away from home, I was looking for healing. I was looking for fulfillment, and I was looking for inner happiness because I did not feel good about myself. I was extremely unhappy, and honestly, a few times I felt like I could not live anymore.
Hmm.
And that's why at a very early age, I started studying psychology. I went to study rapid transformational therapy, which ultimately transformed my life. Hypnosis helped me to release all the limitations that I held in my subconscious. And that was for the first time. I felt so happy. And that is exactly when I decided to explore that subject and create a book that teaches not only how to create success, but also create fulfilled success. And fulfilled success is success, abundance, and fulfillment in every area of life, which is absolutely possible. And it's honestly everybody's birthright once we learn how to do it.
Oh, I love that. Fulfilled success. That's a great term because there's one thing a lot of people strive to become successful, but then, the bottom line is that sometimes successful doesn't equate with being fulfilled.
Yes, and as I mentioned, since I already grew up in a family where I had a personal driver, I was eating black caviar, I had my personal nanny, I had a lady who was cooking for me and cleaning. So I had absolutely everything, but I saw that my family was not happy. And I knew that there was more to physical success. And that is why like I was of course studying success as well, but I was studying fulfillment because I knew that money, it's not the only way to become happy. It's actually a way to become very unhappy if you don't know how to feel fulfilled, how to feel whole and abundant at first, you know.
Yeah. So would you say that before one should focus on success and money and those kinds of things, that we should focus on our fulfillment first?
I think it's together. Like you should work on it together, because what happened is when I was in the search for fulfillment, I traveled to Mount Shasta. And in Mount Shasta, I met many spiritual people and they looked so happy and they looked so fulfilled and complete. But then they had so many problems with actually providing for themselves. So they were consistently asking me for money, and they told me, oh, I could not afford home, like I could not buy myself a car. And I also believe that this is also not right. So that's why I actually created a book that teaches you how to create success, but also expand so much that you don't lose its higher purpose, fulfillment.
Yeah.
And ultimately, when you transform 7 areas of life, I do believe that you create success much more effortlessly, but you also learn to be present. And that is when you become one with life. And when you become one with life, I don't think it's possible to be unhappy, because you start appreciating every single part of life and you start feel appreciative even for small little things. Because the reason why a lot of successful people are unhappy, because they kind of dismiss life. They go from one goal to another, and deep inside, they often believe that they will become somebody more through accomplishing something, but they notice it doesn't happen, and then they become even more miserable. So the purpose of success should be slightly different than just money. And that is also when you stop being attached to money and when you stop needing money. I think that success, like prosperity, comes easier.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. One of the things for me, I've just kind of had this little epiphany lately. And I wonder if you could kind of help, the audience, because I feel like so much of my audience is me. And, so it's like kind of an epiphany that I had recently. I always just like to like share my story and and be the channel, be the person that you can kind of help. So One of the things I kind of realize is that it's not even so much that I want to make so much money, which I do. I want to make a lot of money, but what I've kind of realized is what more than anything, is to make the biggest impact, and to have like hugely successful business, like a wildly successful business. But the way that I've measured that is with money. It's like that's a measurement tool for how successful the business is in so many ways. And so when you talk about wealth, does that kind of include like not just wealth of money, but also wealth of like just having a successful business, being well known, being recognized, making a big impact on the world?
Always, because we also have to love money, but not loving them as we do everything to like harm others or do something that create any pain. Okay, for example, I came from a very rich family. My sister told me, you must love money. You must appreciate money. You should know exactly how much you would like to have always, and you should always expand. It's just the most important is not to get lost in the money. So, for example, if you would like to create transformation in the world, money will come as a result. But you also have to know the direction you're going. As I mentioned, there are many spiritual beings in Mount Shasta, and they absolutely don't understand how to manifest money. So they bring transformation into the world, but they don't have a place to live. They don't have money to buy food for themselves. And there is absolutely nothing in loving money. There is absolutely nothing in loving beautiful things. It's just a balance of understanding we're living in a material world. And if you would like to have a beautiful car, you absolutely deserve it for the beautiful work that you provide, for the beautiful transformation you bring into this world. As one of the teachers said, that money comes as a result of what value you bring into the world. So if you would like to create a lot of money, bring a lot of value, but also know exactly what you would like to create, and don't limit it with a specific number, even by knowing the number. Always leave the space for possibilities.
Love it. Love it. So many people, they start out strong in their personal and professional growth, but then, so they're strong, they're going for it, but then they like start to lose motivation or momentum. So what is it that causes people to just um, lose that? And how can they break free from that cycle?
Because a lot of people don't understand something. First of all, if you have a desire to create something, you are destined to create it. It's already in you. I do strongly believe that the creator gave you the qualities and talent to bring that vision that you desire into your reality. But what often happens is that the more we desire, the more challenges we create to show us what we need to improve. And a lot of individuals that give up, they see those challenges as negative instead of seeing challenges as positive things that are happening in your life to expand us. They see it something like, oh, maybe it's not for me. Maybe the creator doesn't want me to follow this passion, or maybe I'm just not destined for it. You know what I mean? Instead of becoming stronger through the challenges, they become weaker. But I also believe everybody has its own timing. So even if you have a little bit of a slowdown, still be kind with yourself, because maybe you need this time, for different wisdom. Maybe in a time of slowdown, you learn the power of being present, or maybe you become more humble, or maybe you learn how to appreciate other things in life. So I do believe also, like, for example, me at one point, I had so much money, and I still have it, but I became so mean and so angry, like, because I came from a family that was a little arrogant, and I started losing money. I honestly, like, I started attracting situations that oh my goodness, everything felt like against me. And guess what happened? Like I became so humble and I realized, oh my goodness, I treated people unfairly. Like I literally like lost myself. And I accepted that time as a time to teach me that I have to be more humble, that I needed also to go through that time when everything is working against me. And that is when ultimate appreciation comes. So I do believe everything that is happening in our life is teaches us something important and preparing us for manifesting our vision.
I couldn't agree more. And I believe that everything happens for a reason, and that what a beautiful transformation. So you manifested yourself into a place of having all the riches that you wanted, but then you kind of caught yourself as like, oh, kind of turning into not the person that I really wanted to be here. So you were able to recognize that and become more humble, and start to be the person that you really wanted to be, with your wealth.
Because see a lot of people, like we've seen like celebrities or famous people who became very successful, but then they start using drugs or they just couldn't handle wealth, and at the end of life they were completely broke. I do believe that everything that is happening in our life is preparing us for our vision, because mentally we may not be fully ready for it. And exactly like when I received my first, like it's not like the biggest amount I've ever received, because I think like life is a growth and we're always growing and becoming better. But for that age that I was at, I kind of did not appreciate it. So I became that arrogant, mean person as well. So I knew that I needed to lose that and experience the time of not having it with that much ease, or in the way I was manifesting it before, to understand that like creator was teaching me that was not cool, and if you receive more you would not be able to handle wealth and success and whatever you're striving for. You definitely could not transform people with that attitude. And in everybody's person's life, like if you hear about very famous people, like for example Sylvester Stallone, for many years he could not manifest any wealth. He was broke. He had to sell his dog. His wife left him. He literally had no money for even food and home. But at the same time, he was going so much for his true vision. Oh, Боже. So he was going so much for his true vision. And when he went to an audition and they offered him so much money for his script, he said no. He said, I would want to be in a movie as a main character. And a person in a different situation, by being so broke, would accept, like they offered him like 300,000. He said no, and he rejected and he left. And then he accepted very little money. But because he knew what his vision was and he was so connected with the divine, and ultimately he was not afraid of not being without money. Because see, being without money gave him the strength to be who he was. He knew that without money, he was able to survive all that time, and he would do that until he reaches his goal. So everything that is happening is just strengthening us and preparing us for the next step.
I love that. He had, it's like an integrity thing. He had the integrity to stick to what he was going for and not sell his soul, for money, for just like, oh,
But it's not only the soul, because he had so much trust. He
yeah.
had ultimate trust, because there was nothing wrong receiving money. They wouldn't like, they didn't offer him to pay money for anything bad. They were just like buying his script. But he had so much trust. Just imagine how connected he was to the creator, because he knew he would be this particular actor playing in this movie. And he could have also received complete no and lose it altogether. But he had so much trust. And I do believe this is the secret to manifestation, that ultimate trust and zero doubts. Because another story, like when I ran away from my family, somebody asked me, they said, like, did you understand what you just did? You just left like one of the most successful sisters in Russia, and like, what were you going to do? Like, you needed money in this world. And I said, I did not care, because I knew I would create anything on my own. And that certainty came because I already observed my father being highly successful. My sister achieved anything, and she had she had to rise few times. It wasn't always consistent, and I just knew it. And every single time in life, the reason why we don't manifest fast is because we have so many doubts and fears, and we sabotage our success in whatever endeavor. But if we have complete certainty, we don't doubt. The economy may not be working for us. We may lose money. All types of things can happen. But when we have that ultimate trust, I promise everyone, like, you will manifest, because ultimate certainty and trust is the secret to manifestation.
Yes, I love it. So you talk about energetic wealth. So how does our vibrational state influence financial success, and how can female entrepreneurs harness that power?
So it's not about what you think about, it's who you are. And this is something we must be working on, because if we observe a person who's truly successful at everything they do, they behave completely different. Okay. And if you observe a person who is lacking, and maybe in their thoughts they would like to be somebody, but when they get in a situation when they are triggered, they lose it. And the most important thing in life is to become the person. And it's the hardest, because that's exactly what we must train in ourselves, right? We first have to transform our subconscious beliefs, surely. But then we have to train ourselves and consistently ask ourselves a question. Like, for example, my goal is to be, let's say, a transformational author, like even before like I became an author, right? How would the author walk, talk, and present themselves? Or let's say if somebody right now at their bank account has like maybe $1,000, but like this person would like to have 300,000. And then this person should ask themselves, how would I behave if I have this much money? And then you have to take this in like energetically, like you should see yourself as that type of person, and you have to train yourself to be that type of person. For example, let's say if you are walking in the store and see something you would like to buy, and you absolutely know that you cannot do it, but you take a breath, you observe your thoughts, and you envision, what is it like to buy it with ease? What is it like not care too much about losing money? Or what is it like to go to that particular store to buy my groceries, right? Or to go to check like any expensive place that may not seem affordable in a moment. Like, you have to start feeling that it's easy and it's your identity. And the same is with your career. Maybe you desire to be a famous athlete. So what is it like to be in that field, like receive that award? Like, you have to feel it, you have to become it. And when people speak with you, they will feel that vibration, because see, when we are vibrationally aligned to something, we start manifesting resources, and people, like, they start helping us on our journey. We start manifesting the right teachers, or friends who would like to help us, who make calls for us, or even offer us to give some money, or whatever it is that you need will be there in your life the more that you align vibrationally with the vision of you, like the version of you you would like to become.
Yes, beautiful. And it's not like, when we say embody that state, it's not like you go out and, you buy a car that you can't afford, or that clothes that you can't afford, but you just allow yourself to, feel what it's like to be in that position where you would, and then that's going to help you to increase that vibration and then attract all of the resources that puts you into that state where you will be able to afford, to buy those things. Um, and why would you say that there are some people that, they're able to like really excel in one area, like they're really, really great in business, but then they struggle so much in some other area, like their health or their relationships? Why can't we just be successful in all the areas at the same time?
Well, I do believe that if we were born completely successful and fulfilled and abundant, we would actually never appreciate our achievements. I do believe that we come to this earth, right? And we have lessons that we are learning. And if somebody is not working on the area of their health, or not working on the area of their relationship, I do believe that they're learning something else. Like we can never understand why specific soul as at this specific level, because I've noticed like at the beginning of my career, right? I was providing free classes and free lessons. And I've noticed until the person has a desire to transform, nothing would help them. Absolutely nothing. And I do believe that somebody who is not desiring to transform, maybe they need this time for like maybe there's a different purpose. Like there are so many things that we don't understand. That is why I would always say I wish everybody the best, and I don't judge people because I understand that there is a higher purpose behind even their poverty or their indecision or lack of motivation. But I definitely know one thing: we can only help those individuals who are truly ready and desire to transform. And it's also in God's hands, We can pray for them always.
Absolutely. Yeah, I learn that every day. Sometimes sometimes people will think that they're ready, but they're really, unfortunately, they're not really ready. Or, you meet those people that like, you just want to give them one little tip that could, change everything. But if they're not ready, they're not going to receive that tip. We're all and they're okay. We just have to love them as they are and accept people as they are, because we're all on these our own spiritual journeys, and they're not right or wrong. They're just what we're ready for at any one time. So you've studied a lot of hypnotherapy, like I have, and you've studied a lot of transformational techniques. What would you say, what are some of the subconscious money blocks that you tend to see, especially in women, and how can they rewire those beliefs? So starting with like, what are some of the biggest blocks?
So first of all, interestingly enough, I myself, like I came from a very successful family, right? But I myself, for example, I did not believe I was enough. So just because I did not believe I was enough, I've created so much mess in my life and a lot of losses. That's one of the beliefs that a lot of people have not even, like some people don't even realize, like say, I already came from a rich family. I shouldn't have any beliefs about money. If you believe that you are not enough, you will create life that doesn't seem enough. Like
Yeah.
something in your life will be missing, or there will be circumstances that show you that you're not enough. The second very strong belief, like when you come from a family where your parents were struggling financially, that's actually very, very difficult for a lot of people, because I've seen many clients who went through these conditions, right? And they can work all day long, they can graduate the best university, and they still consistently attract some type of money issues, okay? Or they can attract accidents. They even can make a lot of money and then they lose money, right? And also what happens is when the economy is not doing well, that is so, like, it affects those type of people even stronger, because now they're already tuning into the disease of consciousness. because now it's everyone in the news. Everybody talks about the prices that are rising, that the money that may be disappearing from our world. Like, so it gets even worse. Another belief, like a lot of people grew up in a family like where parents just believe that money were a root of evil, right? Like, for example, like all rich people are bad. And I can see it. For example, I had like a person, it's not a woman but a male, like he was so resentful toward rich people. And I told him, listen, you could never create success if you resent rich people. Not all rich people are bad. There are amazing, amazing people who are successful. And as a matter of fact, the more successful you are, the more influence you have on the world. Okay. And I do think these are like one of the major beliefs or influences that affect lack mentality, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. You know, it's actually it's interesting because it is like a little bit of a lack of awareness that people have when it comes to that whole idea of rich people being bad, like or not wanting to make more than a certain amount, you know, like, oh, I shouldn't want to. But, you know, unfortunately, when a person has that belief, you know, like this was just something that was so eye-opening to me and it's a little like almost like a little controversial thing to say, but it's like if you don't want a lot of money, that means that you're kind of only focused on yourself, you know? If you think about it, because like don't, you know, if you have a lot of money, that means you can help a lot of people. Right?
But at the same time, not everybody like has this energy,
Yeah.
because some person just can like have just enough energy to just create success or comfort for their own family.
Yeah.
And I do believe like if you don't want too much money, you may be like serving the world in other ways. For example, in Peru, people, even if they want a lot of money, they
Yeah.
can never have it because there are real limitations in Peru. That's why I was investing in the forest there. Like,
Yeah.
people steal and there is a lot of robbery. But then I saw these boys, because I went to Peru, and this family, they were so humble. And those boys, they were carrying my luggages for very little money. Oh my God, they were so happy. They were hugging me. Oh my
Oh,
goodness, I was their hero. So it depends also on the person, because
yeah.
I do believe every single person at the same time serves their own entire purpose.
Yeah.
Um, and they can also transform others in different ways. Like those boys, they transformed me so much. I was like, wow, they were so happy for so little.
Yeah.
And they were the example of, like, in that particular environment where they live, I don't think they can actually create more money, because in order to travel to town, you have to take a boat and you have to travel through the jungle for 3 hours. And they were just happy for that little. And I saw their family, they were so happy. And they literally make their own medicine. They have their own cow. Everything that they eat, they grow. So like they don't have needs
Yeah.
except like small little needs, but like they have everything provided, and they actually looked quite healthy. They are considered indigenous people because they don't even have like a washing machine. They wash everything by hands. And if everything is like let's say you have a headache, they give you a specific herb that they bring from the jungle. So like that was incredible experience too. So
You know what? That was an amazing epiphany that you just gave to me because so I have been walking around saying that, but it was I had been carrying that belief because I had another interview with another podcaster a long time ago, and that was something that they kind of woke up inside of me, that idea. You just woke up a whole nother idea in me. So I really want to thank you for that. That actually gives me another perspective to hold that. So thank you.
thank you.
You know, it's really but it's a perfect example. What just shifted in me is just a perfect example of how easily, how fragile our subconscious minds really are, because we're just so adaptable to hearing something and listening to something that somebody said and then owning that and then going around and stating that as our own. And that means also somebody's limiting beliefs about success and money. It's so easy for us to walk around like, and just, oh yeah, money's the root of all evils, or rich people are bad, or, people are constantly just, immediately owning something in their subconscious mind. So anyway, that, just kind of was a good example of that. So if someone, oh, yeah. So we started to talk about, what were some of the blocks that they have. What would you say are some of the ways that you have helped people to rewire some of those blocks?
Okay, so first I had my own practice in Westwood, Los Angeles, but recently I actually created a course to do that. I literally created a course. The course is a blessing because it already helped a lot of people, but also I was working with some people, and I've noticed that they had hard time opening up. Why? Because essentially, the more masculine, we're talking about women, right? The more masculine a woman is, the stronger she becomes. And I've noticed in America, it's even quite more common than in Russia. So, and what happens is they have hard time opening up even to themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, when somebody is watching, like when I did that rapid transformational therapy, I saw like they were holding back from releasing that pain and whatever was holding them back. And that's when the idea came to me. I said I would create an online course so people can do it at the comfort of their own home. But in general, my ideal technique to transform the subconscious mind, because I did it for myself, is through subconscious, through hypnosis, through rapid transformational therapy. Why? Because I don't know exactly what type of hypnosis you've studied, but rapid transformational therapy is when you go into your subconscious mind, you literally go into your childhood and you go to 3 scenes. And in those 3 scenes, you actually yourself discover what limiting belief you hold. And when you discover it, you're one step closer to becoming free from that belief. But then you also have to transform that belief. But what happened is, like in my own story, I really believed that I could no longer live. So I decided to die. So I decided to die. And I went to a doctor. The doctor told me that I had a bipolar disorder, and I did not want to take the pills, so I went to do hypnotherapy. And when my first hypnotherapist, Brian Green, he hypnotized me, and I saw myself as a little girl, and I saw like my father passed away, and I remember like I hated my father and I hated the world, and then I created the belief that something was wrong with me. So and what happened is, my whole entire life before I did that hypnosis, I attracted abusive partners. I attracted people who humiliated me. I attracted people who mistreated me. I attracted so many difficult, dreadful circumstances. And at that time, when I did the hypnosis, I was like, wow, I knew it. I myself decided something was wrong with me. I did not deserve love. And I was not enough. Okay. And then, of course, I was attracting all these people. And at that first time, I had hope. I knew I would change. I knew that I would never suffer that much. It took me years to become even happier, but that first hypnosis transformed my view on what was possible. And that's why I recommend hypnotherapy to everyone, because I do believe it's the fastest way to go into the subconscious and really yourself discover what beliefs you hold in your subconscious. Because I also have I had a client, like she came to me and she really wanted to get married so much. She was going on a dates consistently, and she would attract men who mistreated her and men who did not want to be with her. And then when we did the rapid transformational therapy, she literally saw how her father was abusive to her mother. And as a little girl, she said, I would never want to get married. So
Mm-hmm.
she decided that something was wrong with marriage. And guess what? On a conscious level, she wanted to be married, but on an unconscious level, she had that belief. And of course, she attracted so many men who literally mistreated her and men who did not want to commit. That's why my way to transform was hypnosis. And I recommend everybody to go into the subconscious mind and just find the beliefs that run, like the limitations that you may hold in the subconscious, transform them and create the life of your design.
Amen. I believe in that.
Right.
100%. It's the fastest way. You're just going to continue to bang your head up against the wall if you try to do it, with your your conscious mind. It's just
Mhm.
going to take, you may not ever get to the root of why you're doing it. And the subconscious is totally running the show, and most people don't realize that. So if somebody feels stuck right now in their business or in their area of money or in growth or any area at all, what would you say would be the very first step that they should take to shift their reality?
I strongly believe in the power of prayer.
Mhm.
Why? Because I believe that everybody's path is so unique. And at this moment, you ask me about people that I absolutely don't know. And I do know that everybody has its own unique path. When I'm going through a challenging situation, I always pray or connect with my own intuition, because I do believe through prayer we connect with our own intuition. And I ask for the way out, for the way to expansion. Because every time we are stuck, we are also stuck for a reason. If we are stuck, we hold limiting beliefs that attracted this particular situation. Or it may be because this is not exactly where we are going. Maybe our creator shows us that we're going in the wrong direction and it's better to change our path. That's why I connect with my own intuition through the power of prayer. And I literally ask, what is the fastest and easiest way for me to create solution out of this situation, right? So that I see, like I write down like what exactly will be the ideal outcome. For example, like if I start losing money through sales, I would say like, how can I reverse the situation? And then I receive insights. Oftentimes it can be completely irrational, like because sometimes when we listen to our own intuition, the feeling that we get can feel irrational and maybe even scary, but I often act on those feelings because I've been working with my own intuition for a long time, and I've noticed like how fast the solutions to challenges come. And also I believe that when we get to expansion, we manifest challenges even more, as I mentioned, right? Because they show us what we need to expand. So again, if somebody feels stuck, see that situation as an expansion,
Hmm.
because it's something that you should take in and realize, why am I going through this? What am I believing about life that I am manifesting this situation, right? Work on yourself, expand it, because if you don't have enough foundation for creating success, you sometimes create those challenges to show you that if you are negatively affected by small little things, just imagine when you get to the level that you wish to be, how are you going to be handling that situation? So you have to become stronger, and again, see every challenge as a way to expansion rather a dreadful circumstance, and start celebrating challenges.
Yeah, it's all there for us. It's all there to be grateful for, and it is a gift, all of it, whether we perceive it as a negative thing or a positive thing, it's all a gift. So I'd love to share with our listeners a little bit about your book, Abundance. And I love the way you spell it, abundance. So tell us a little bit about Abundance, your book.
Because I truly believe, like I was extremely unhappy girl. I told you, right? Like I was so unhappy. I never knew that life was miraculous. despite the fact I had so much money and I had a personal driver. And when I ran away from home, I also felt unhappy because I had so many limiting beliefs. And I did not realize at that time that life was just like a dance. So dance is happiness, is joy, like you enjoy it, and you're also quite active, right, in life, because everything in life that you create, you should be in action. Of course, when you're meditating and you're fully present, it's okay for you, for everyone to be at peace and be still. But most of the times, I think that it's action in a state of enjoyment. And this is dance, right? When we dance, we're acting like we, because I studied dancing, but you're enjoying it. And that's how abundance came to me, and the fulfilled path to success too, because I knew that we should all be successful in whatever success means to us. Because for somebody it means $1 million, for somebody it just means creating comfort, right? But we also should feel fulfilled, because we only live once in this lifetime. And if we are not living in that powerful state, then we are missing out, you know. And also, I don't dismiss negative emotions, because I do believe as humans, we all will go through time to time through negative emotions. It just, I've noticed like the more you study spiritual principles, the faster you recover. Like, for example, in the past, I would be depressed for years, right? All my life until I awakened. But now I sometimes have situations that I may feel extremely upset about, but I don't stay in that state for too long. And that's why I know that the more you study spiritual principles, the faster you live in that state, and the faster you release suffering, you know. And that's ultimate abundance, when you start dancing life, enjoying life, and living in a state of bliss with your soul, you know.
I love it. So we should all be fulfilled, happy, joyful, dancing, and successful. Any final tips or words, and just let our listeners know where where they can reach you.
Well, first of all, I want to tell you, I'm so proud of you, like what you do to other women, and for your courage. I just like, I'm always inspired by people who have that courage to create such transformation. For everybody who would like to find me, they can find me on my website, Quantum Leap to Success. Two is with two O's. I also have my website, Sacred Apex, and on social media, on TikTok and Facebook.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for everything that you've shared with us today in your journey to helping females and males to find success and fulfillment and joy and dance and abundance in their lives. It's been a privilege and a pleasure and an honor. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.